Literally one day he came up to me, he was like, I really want you to work on my fall wardrobe.
With Puffy, of course. I think he gay. I think everybody around him gay.
If you're gonna be his personal assistant / butler / umbrella carrier, whatever you gonna do, you understand? We gotta think of a name for you.
Yeah. And when you say you wasn't invited to these parties, obviously Cat Williams and talked about these parties. People are mentioning.
I don't know if it's a party. I'm saying that metaphorically. You know what I'm saying?
But you've heard about the parties that everyone is talking about. But you've never got invited to them. So
I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what the party. That's how far out of it I am. I don't know. But people call me Illuminati too. It's like, call me what? Okay, cool. I'm Illuminati. Whatever it is. It's like, whatever. I don't care. I really don't give a. I really don't give a.
There you have it.
So the internet has been buzzing with claims that, aside from the troubling situations Diddy is already facing, people online also believe he had private relationships with different men. And one name that keeps coming up is his former assistant, Fonzworth Bentley. Folks even say things got so intense between them that Fonzworth eventually stepped away to protect his own peace. Kanye West kept quiet for a long time because he didn't want to get dragged into anything tied to Diddy, but he's reacting now, which makes sense since he and Fonzworth were close friends. Before diving into all the drama, here's some quick background that fans always bring up. Fonzworth worked as Diddy's personal assistant and stylist from 2001 to around 2006, and during that time, rumors spread non-stop about their relationship behind the scenes. Before meeting Diddy, Fonzworth was focused on music, but he paused everything when he was hired to help Diddy rebrand after that club incident involving Jennifer Lopez and Shine. Fonzworth became known everywhere as the Umbrella Guy, always holding that huge umbrella over Diddy, and that viral beach photo got people talking even louder. And the wild part, fans say it was Diddy's team who gave him the name Fonzworth.
Naro was like, yo, we gotta think of a name for you, man. And if you're gonna be his personal assistant and / butler / umbrella carrier, whatever you gonna do, you understand? We gotta think of a name for you. We're gonna try to make you like Bentley or either Fonzworth or either Bentley.
Anyway, Fonzworth eventually reached a point where he wanted more for himself than just walking beside Diddy with that giant umbrella. So he started making moves on his own. In 2003, he grabbed a spot on Diddy's MTV reality show Making the Band, and that was the first time people saw him stepping out of the background and into his own spotlight. Not long after the show wrapped, he officially cut ties with Diddy and decided it was time to build his own career, his own name, and his own lane.
You gotta be, you gotta have that kind of persona. You gotta dress all the time, be neat, and the whole 9 yards. And then the dude, Derek, was playing with him like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know how to do that. I could be over the top. He was acting like that. You know what I'm saying? I could be over the top. So he was saying that. And the dude, Tony De Niro, said, we gotta figure out a name for you, man. It's gotta be on the level of, those characters. He said, you gotta be like Fonzworth, you gotta be like Bentley. He said, we're just gonna call you Fonzworth Bentley. And he said,
Once he walked away, he didn't slow down for a second. He scored a major book deal and ended up writing a New York Times best-selling etiquette guide titled Advance Your Swagger: How to Use Manners, Confidence, and Style to Get Ahead. That book took off in a way nobody expected, and it showed everyone that Fonzworth wasn't just an assistant. He had real vision and a whole brand waiting to shine. A few years later, he leveled up even more by creating and starring in his own MTV show, From G's to Gents. The series ran for 2 full seasons before getting canceled in 2009, but even that setback didn't stop his grind. People loved watching him help contestants clean up their image, find confidence, and transform their whole vibe. And the show proved he had star quality all on his own. Then, just 2 years after the show ended, Fonzworth jumped right into the music world and surprised a lot of folks with how natural he was at it. He found real success, especially among listeners who appreciated his smooth style and unique sound. That momentum pushed him to release his debut album, C.O.L.O.R.S., marking another major step in his journey and showing once again that he wasn't afraid to reinvent himself whenever necessary. Fonzworth went from being the guy holding an umbrella over Diddy to becoming a respected author, TV personality, and musician, all because he refused to stay boxed in. Each new move proved he had talent far beyond what people assumed, and his willingness to evolve kept his name alive in every lane he touched.
When I moved to New York, obviously I stood out dressing like this, in a lot of the hip hop clubs and things. And, literally one day he came up to me. He was like, I really want you to work on my fall wardrobe. So I exchanged information with him, a very important two-way number. And now knowing how his schedule is, it was very difficult to get with him, actually. So during his trial, I would send him a lot of, spiritual verses just to kind of support him. And then one day,
Anyway, things took an even sharper turn when Freddie P stepped forward and basically confirmed what many people had already been whispering for years. He said he personally watched Diddy talk to Fonzworth in ways that felt completely out of line, and the disrespect was so constant that it stuck with him long after their time working together. Freddy explained that he could never understand why Fonzworth stayed so calm through it all because the behavior he witnessed wasn't the type anyone should just accept without speaking up.
I was a maitre d' for the Madison Park, a fantastic restaurant in New York City. And I said, you remember the guy from New York City that traveled to, you remember the guy from Howard that traveled to New York City to intern with Andre Harrell? I'm that guy in 2001. Please, I need a job. And he said, come to 1396 3rd Avenue on this two-way. And I literally raced to that address, and I started as assistant that day. And the rest is history.
Freddy said that at the time, he assumed maybe Fonzworth was just trying to keep the peace or keep his job. But looking back as an adult, he now believes there was something deeper going on behind the scenes that made Fonzworth feel trapped in that situation. He didn't use wild language or exaggerate anything. He simply said the dynamic he witnessed didn't look like a normal boss-assistant relationship, and that it felt like Fonzworth was dealing with pressure most people never saw. Freddy went on to explain his view of how Diddy treats the people around him, and his words shook a lot of fans. According to Freddy, Diddy didn't move like someone who truly cared about the individuals in his circle. Instead, he acted like someone who wanted control over everyone close to him. Freddy claimed that people either stayed around Diddy because they were involved with him personally, or because he held information they didn't want exposed, and that kind of environment creates fear, silence, and heavy tension. He made it clear he wasn't trying to tear anyone down, but he felt it was important to speak on what he saw, especially now that more people are questioning the power Diddy held over so many careers. Freddy said the way Fonzworth carried himself, always polite, always composed, always trying to keep things smooth, made him believe Fonzworth didn't feel free to push back, even when the disrespect was obvious. These comments set the internet on fire because they came from someone who was actually there, someone who lived through that early 2000s era inside Diddy's camp. And Freddy's story added a whole new layer to the conversation, because if what he described is accurate, then Fonzworth wasn't just a stylist or assistant. He was someone navigating a complicated and uncomfortable situation while trying to hold on to his dignity in the middle of a powerful machine.
With Puffy, of course, I think he gay. I think everybody around him gay, and I think you don't get to stay around him unless you've proven that either you're with the shit or the shit don't bother you. You either took part in some foolery, aided some foolery, enabled bad behavior, or have your own.
Now, even though some people felt Freddie P sounded a little scattered during that interview, plenty of viewers still said he brought up points that can't be brushed off so easily. He spoke with emotion, and even if the delivery felt messy to some, the underlying message had people raising their eyebrows because it lined up with things others have hinted at for years. Fonzworth was widely known as Diddy's personal assistant, the polished guy with perfect manners who stayed close to Diddy at every event. But here's the part that has the internet buzzing. After he stepped away from that position, he never said a single public word about Diddy. Not a comment, not a story, not even a casual reflection. His complete silence has people online speculating like crazy, with many saying that staying quiet for this long feels intense, almost like he's protecting himself from reopening something painful. A lot of folks believe that kind of silence might suggest he went through situations he doesn't want to revisit, or that he just prefers to keep certain chapters closed for personal reasons.
Ghosts. Have your own skeletons that he allowed to, oh, I'll do this while you do that. We all good. We don't give a f. This our world. Puffy, it's an addiction. Turning people out. That was his addiction. That was his addiction. He didn't, there's plenty of people that he could have, it was his addiction. Y'all don't understand. I look at Bentley and all these people. Come on, man. Now that we know the monster, man, you carried the man umbrella. He was the man. I watched this man disrespect you every chance he got. Talk to you like his bitch. He talked to Harv like his bitch. He talked to D-Dot like his bitch. He talked to all them niggas like they his bitches.
Some fans have even suggested that Fonzworth's calm and classy image might mask experiences he would rather not discuss, and they feel his quietness adds a layer of mystery to his past with Diddy. People on social media have also pointed out a pattern they've noticed among men who were once part of Diddy's inner crew. Over the years, different individuals who worked closely with him, whether in music, management, or creative roles, have shared stories about feeling uncomfortable, pressured, or controlled in ways they didn't fully understand until later. Not everyone shares the same experience, but the fact that multiple former associates describe similar vibes has kept the conversation from fading. The interesting part is that most of these men don't come forward loudly or aggressively. Instead, they either drop hints, speak carefully, or avoid the topic altogether. And that's exactly why people say Fonzworth's silence fits the same pattern. Quiet distance, no public drama, no interviews breaking everything down, just a complete shift away from that world. Fans aren't claiming to know the full truth, but they're noticing how many individuals who once stood beside Diddy eventually step back and stay silent. And that alone keeps raising questions every time his name comes up.
People look at his flamboyant style and they look at him because what man is carrying another man's umbrella?
Right.
It look gay.
Fonzworth Bentley. There has been these conversations just recently on the Art of Dialogue. What's his name from Making the Band said that he felt that Fonzworth and Diddy were an item, a couple that was his boyfriend. And why do you think Fonzworth has not said anything? Does that make him guilty?
Why? Where is it for Fonzworth? Why everybody looking for Fonzworth to say something?
Because I think we trust him.
Fonzworth is 20 years ago. He was not like with Diddy for a extensive amount of Diddy's career. That was a short time.
When it comes to Kanye, he never actually name-dropped Fonzworth, but a lot of people think he heard exactly what went down between Fonzworth and Diddy, and he checked Diddy about it behind closed doors. What most folks don't realize is that during the time Fonzworth was serving as Diddy's assistant, he was also tight with Kanye, meaning Kanye wasn't hearing secondhand stories. He was seeing things unfold in real time. Back in 2004 and 2005, Fonzworth was slowly building his own music lane on the side while still working for Diddy. His album Modern Day Gentleman finally dropped in 2007, and that's when Kanye stepped in and scooped him up as his stylist and creative director. Fonzworth was actually the mastermind behind Kanye's whole preppy polo, layered fit vibe during the college dropout era, and that aesthetic helped shape Kanye's early image in a major way. Fonzworth popped up everywhere, in Kanye's videos, tour visuals, and even the iconic New Workout Plan music video.
I think Fonzworth was his little girlfriend at one time, because you have to see how they was conducting themselves. I don't want to say that about Bentley, because Bentley got kids and shit, and I got respect for that nigga. Like, he was one of the few niggas I fuck with. But the way they used to carry themselves back then, and plus he had put something on his Instagram. He put something on his Instagram like 4 or 5 months ago, and he was like, "Don't let me tell my story," or some shit like that. I heard they fell out because of he was stealing or something like that, whatever. But Nick, you hang around a nigga who don't want to pay you, giving millions of dollars away every night, acting like he can't pay you on time, want to fill your butt, all this weird ass shit. You gonna steal from him too, nigga. And you might not even be a thief.
By 2006, the two started locking in musically. Fonzworth delivered that smooth hook on Everything I Am from Graduation. And in 2013, he collaborated with Kanye again on Yeezus. He earned songwriting credits on several tracks, including On Sight, Black Skinhead, I Am a God, and Hold My Liquor, which shocked a lot of fans who didn't even realize how deep his creative influence ran. Their partnership continued into Kanye's 2016 album, The Life of Pablo, where Fonzworth landed producer credits on Ultralight Beam, one of the most talked about tracks on the album. But then the industry gossip started swirling, because word on the street is that once Fonzworth walked away from Diddy, Diddy allegedly blackballed him, making it tough for any major artist to work with him, even Kanye. People online definitely had their own takes on this. One person said, "Many people have said the same things about Diddy, but because of his influence, money, and because he is one of the heavy hitters in the industry and well protected by a lot of people who won't even say anything. Thank God for the ones who have. When you speak the truth, people tend to say that you're crazy or flat out of your mind. Jaguar wasn't lying. We have to follow the pattern. Everybody isn't lying." Another person added, "Fonzworth Bentley knew what he was getting into. If you listen to the story of how he got close to Diddy, he sounds like a groupie popping up at parties and trying to get close to Diddy. I don't feel bad for any of these people. They got exactly what they wanted." Now I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about Fonzworth allegedly being mistreated by Diddy, and do you think there's more to the story than we're being told? Drop your thoughts in the comments and make sure you share, like, subscribe, and keep this conversation going.